Hello, friends and family. Today I am going to go totally off script. I'm going to introduce you to myself. Most of you know who I am, but some of you don't. I was born in 1956, a poor black boy. No, let me stop. I'm joking. In 1956, here in Richmond, Virginia, um, I graduated from Armstrong High School. I went into the Air Force, and I spent most of my life being told by the people that I took most of the stock of what they said to heart, that I would never be anything. Now, that's something you should never tell a child, but that was something I constantly heard my whole life. And for a while, I spent a lot of my time trying to disprove that. But eventually life beat me down. Now, just like many of you, I was born feeling that there was something special about me. But as I got older, that was basically beaten out of me by the world. Never knowing why I felt that way. But here I am today. I disproved a lot of people just by living and doing the best I could every single day. Now back to the part about being born special or feeling special. Most of you can identify with that. But I never knew why until I found out the truth about us as a people. That's when I realized that it was our Heavenly Father's covenant with us that made me feel that way. You see, our Father told us that in the end times that He would make a new covenant with His chosen people. And that unlike the times of Moses, He was not going to write them down. He was going to put it inside of us. Now, to understand that, a lot of people have done research on DNA and everything, not realizing that it was the actual DNA that was the covenant. You'd heard me on several of my videos speak about the E1B1A. Now, our people are direct descendants of Shem. Okay? Abraham, or Abram, was a descendant of Shem. Isaac, Abraham's son, birthed the Israelite nation through his son, Yaakov, or Jacob, if you want to call him that, which we are the direct descendants of. You see, Abram was E1B1. Esau and Jacob were his twin sons, but they were so much different one from another. And as the Bible said, one was a plain man, one was a hunter. But Esau DNA was E1B1B. Yaakov was E1B1A. Now, our Heavenly Father came to Isaac's wife through sent one of his angels, I should say, to his wife because she was having trouble with the pregnancy. And he told her, the reason that you're having trouble is inside of you are two great nations, Esau and Jacob. And that Jacob was to birth the nation of his chosen people, of our father's chosen people. So that brings us to today. You know, we have endured the curse of the Israelites, which was 400 years of servitude and slavery. Now, I want to take you back to Moses. When Moses was up on the mount getting the commandments, the people were down there making graven images to the new Heavenly Father, which he specifically forbade them to do. So, because of that, they ended up wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. Now, even after the 40 years, that wasn't enough, okay, for us to stay on the straight and narrow. And we ended up straying again. Now, we have a history of forgetting our past and wanting to be like everybody else. So they begin to worship other gods and stray from the teachings and the commandments that were given to Moses. Now, the Bible also tells you that the sins of the father will be visited upon the child 10 times. Mm-hmm. Well, he had them wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. So the next punishment was 10 times that, 400 years. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the 400 years, he will begin to awaken his people. Many of us have already awakened. But sadly, most of us refuse to be awakened. Most of us want to cling to the false gods that we have been taught to worship. I constantly am before you telling you not to do so. Why? It's not because I want to tell you that. It's what our Heavenly Father is saying to us. We are not to fit in. We are not to be like them because we are different. We are people unto Him. We have to get over the slave mentality and stop following what our master tells us. You know, I've explained to you how our master came up with their gods. Now, we are in the end times. There is no way to deny that. All the signs, everything that is happening is pointing out to us. Even to the Black Lives Matter movement, that was pointed out in the Bible. It said that his people would cry such a cry that he would hear them. For the first time in history, blacks across the globe, united under one cause. But what has happened? We have become satisfied again, just as we always do. You get a little bit of progress, you're happy. But you know what? We have not progressed any. We think that because we got Trump out of office that we made some strides. No, we haven't. Because we still have the same old stuff. Can't say what I want to say. Just a different flavor. If you truly want to be free and you truly want to be what you were meant to be, stop listening. Stop researching. Because you will find that everything that I have told you is true. You know, we sit and we always want to be told this is what we should be, this is what, and we got ministers telling us how to live our lives. But who were those ministers taught by? They were taught by the very people that have held us in captivity for 400 years. And of course they want you to follow that, so they can keep you in captivity for another 400 years. Not physical bondage, but mental bondage. I don't know about you, but I really don't feel free. And I don't feel equal. But we were never meant to fit in to that world. Because our Heavenly Father said that we would stand apart from the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. And that we will be a beacon of light for the rest of the world to come to Him. Christianity is bathed in blood throughout history. It was not something that was given an opportunity or you had a choice. You did have a choice. Convert, die, or be sold into slavery. Those were your three choices. The holy wars, what do you think they were? There was nothing holy about it. It was blatant murder. You know, the Spanish Inquisition is a perfect example of that. Well, our people living in Spain had two choices: to convert to Christianity or to be killed or to be sold into slavery. And the sad part is, the descendants of David or Dawid, whichever way you want to pronounce it, were there. They were sent back to Africa and sold into slavery. That's why I told you on my last video that somewhere in America are the descendants of David. You know, even the wisest of us have fallen prey to wanting to give in to our physical desires. Solomon did the same. We have to wake up. We have to take a stand. And we have to research. I will be coming to you with another video soon. But until then, thank you so much for watching. And may our Heavenly Father watch over you always.